Greetings. This is your brother Elder Blacklight coming to you one more time for tonight. I feel compelled to bring this to you, and time is growing short. I'm coming to you from, first of all, I want to clear up something from the brothers who like to debate on Sinetta. This book right here will clear up a lot of things because it's in line with the teaching, some of the teachings of the Honorable Elijah Muhammad. And her name is Drusilla Dundee Houston, Wonderful Ethiopians of the Ancient Kushite. Because it's different time periods that brothers are arguing about language. Certain languages wasn't even invented and whatever. But she lines things up pretty good. This book was written in 1926. Master Farad Muhammad didn't come to Detroit till 1930, but he was still, prior to coming to Detroit in America, I don't know if he ran across this sister or not, but she's not too far off on her assessment of the black man and woman prior to 6,000 years, even maybe that of the time of Shabazz, 50,000 years ago. But it says the origin of civilization. And then it's got, I'm not going to read it, all of them, but most of them if I can. It's got, for number 1, chapter 1, Ancient Kushite Empire of the Ethiopians. Chapter 2, the Old Ethiopians. Old Ethiopia, its people. Ancient Ethiopia, the land. The amazing civilization of Ethiopia. All this was 1, 2, 3, and 4. Now, on number 5 is prehistoric Egypt and the land of wonders. What does that suggest to you? That suggests that the Kushite and the Ethiopian empire was before Egypt or Kemet. There's got Egypt and her golden age, Egypt and her mighty pharaohs, and then it's got Arabia. Now let me say something about Arabia. The language, Aramaic and Arabic. These are names that are transic in alignment with Hebrew and that language. They both are almost the same, brothers and sister language, but they both are transic words. Hebrew means to cross over. Arab means to roam in the desert, sort of like a nomad. And that language, takes on a different connotations in all of Arabia. Each group of people got their own brand of language. And then it's got the marvelous Arabian civilization, the rich Arabian literature, the strange races of the ancient Chaldea. See, y'all look over there in Arabia and all those lands right there, y'all see these pale Arabs or Semitic Arabs. But it was black, Kushite, Nubian Arabs at one time. Then it's got Babylonian, the land of marbles, the civilization of Babylonia. Ancient India, there was black Indians, And then it's got the civilization of India, Hindu religion and literature. Ancient Media and Persia were Kushite. So we coming into different names and stuff that you see over. You look over there now. You see these lighter skinned people, pale and Semitic type people, and you don't think at one time it was Nubian or black people. So Shabazz was part of that before he went to the jungles. Anyway, let me get into this before I run out of time. I want to run this on you right quick. In the Supreme Lessons book, I'm about to tell you something that you don't hear often. Lost Found Muslim lesson number 1. I think the time is right for you to hear this. Why does Muhammad and the Muslims murder the devil? What is the duty of each Muslim in regards to 4 devils? What reward does a Muslim receive by presenting 4 devils at one time? Okay, answer. Because he is 100% wicked and will not keep and obey the laws of Islam. Actually, the laws of God is the same thing. He can't do it today. He's against Islam. He's against himself. He's killing everything on the planet. You know, the trees, the bees, you know, the birds that fly high. Because he is 100% wicked and will not keep and obey the laws of Islam. His ways and actions are like a snake of the graphic type. And what else? So Muhammad learned that he could not reform the devils. We've been trying for 600 going on 700 years. So they had to be murdered. All Muslims will murder the devil because they know he is a snake. And also, if he be allowed to live, he will sting someone else. You know. So we're going to stop at that right there. I mean, it's that time. Because he done put germ warfare, which come from his laboratories, and you've seen evidence that he been engaged in this type of behavior, having wars every 5 minutes. He's bound to destroy himself and us along with him if it don't be a stop put to him. And then we read this from the Bible. Even the Bible said that and I saw heaven open up, and I saw heaven open, and behold, a white horse, and he that sat upon him was called Faithful and True, and in righteousness he does judge and make war. His eyes were as a flame of fire, and on his head were many crowns. Many crowns. He had a name written that no man knew but he himself. And he was clothed with a vesture dipped in blood. And his name was called the Word of God. And the armies which were in heaven followed him upon white horses, clothed in fine linen, white and clean. And out of his mouth goeth a sharp sword, and with it he shall smite the nations, and he shall rule them with a rod of iron. And he dreadeth the winepress of the fierceness and wrath of the Almighty God. And he has on his vesture and on his thigh the name written, King of Kings and Lord of Lords. I'm going to stop that right there. And the black man, the original man, 24, hours in the day, 24 scientists, 24 gods, the 12 powers. This is you, black man and black woman. Direct descendants from the Creator. From the atom to the organization of atoms. Need I say more? Got to fight, man. Your back is up against the wall. He's not going to stop himself. It's a proven fact that he hates God. He hates the Most High. Because he hates himself. Because he cannot be the Most High. But he going to try. And all you weak-minded brothers and sisters out there who don't believe that I'm telling the truth, just wait around in a few days. If you don't understand by then, that's because you're not here. This is Black Light. Sugar and sugar, salt and salt. If you don't dig what I'm saying, I don't care. It ain't my fault.